Okay, I'm back with another video. I felt like I'll do this for my all my fellow grunge friends out there. Um, the reason I did Pearl Jam so far is that Pearl Jam has an extensive catalog. They have a lot of studio albums, along with a lot of live albums. Can't really do bands like Nirvana because they don't have a lot. They only have 3 studio albums. Um, Although Soundgarden has 6, and I figure I could start with them, and I have a lot of compilations I'm going to show also. So I'm going to get started right now. Coming in last for me is Soundgarden's last album, King Animal. I believe this is 2012. I just still can't really get into this. The only 2 songs I really like off here are the hits, Been Away Too Long by Crooked Steps. I'm sure there's a couple more when I listen to it, but for some reason I still can't really get into this album. So I don't know if I could say it's really a bad album, because I don't think it is. I gotta give it more listens and check it out more. Coming in next is Soundgarden's debut album, Ultramega OK. This is the remastered edition CD. Look how young Chris was there with fucking Matt Cameron. Yeah, now I forget it whether this was the original cover or the other one. When this was first released on CD, it had a different cover, so I'm not sure what was the actual cover. I actually prefer the other cover from the original CD better. This actually features an EP on there also, which is why it's the remastered deluxe edition, called Ultramega EP. Some great songs on here: Flower, All Your Lies, Beyond the Wheel, Circle of Power might be my favorite off of here. Incessant Mace, which they actually brought back for their last tour. They were playing that live. Ultramega EP is this kind of demos from the album. Coming in next is Soundgarden's, their last album before the band broke up. This is Down on the Upside. Pretty big, strong album for them. Had a lot of hit songs on there. Pretty News, Tyrannosaur, Blow Up the Outside World, Burden in My Hand, Never Named, Dusty, Ty Cobb. Some other favorite songs there. Apple Bite's great. The only thing I have to say about this album is it's a little long. I think it might be like 17 to 16, somewhere between 16 and 18 tracks. I don't feel like counting right now. Great album. Starts off very strong, but I feel like it kind of just dies off towards the end. It kind of loses your attention. Like I said, a little too long. Maybe they could have, taken a few songs off there, but still a great album by Soundgarden. Coming in next, I think, is the album that really got people's attention. This is Louder Than Love. Great album. Very, very heavy. This was their major label debut. Their debut was on Sub Pop Records, which was Ultramega OK. This was on A&M Records. Very, very heavy. Great songs if you're Ugly Truth, Hands All Over, Gun, Power Trip, Get on a Snake, Full On Kevin's Mom, of course Loud Love, which was a minor hit. The video was featured on MTV, which is the reason why a lot of people started recognizing Soundgarden. And at this time, they weren't known as grunge. They were very, very heavy, hard rock, almost metal. But they still didn't fit anywhere yet, because this is 1989. The grunge didn't blow up yet. It wasn't thrash. It wasn't as heavy enough or fast enough to be thrash. But yeah, it's great songs on here. Also, Big Dumb Sex, which is a great song. It was actually covered by Guns N' Roses on their Spaghetti Incident album. Coming in next is probably the album that really made Soundgarden a household name, Superunknown. Just perfect from start to finish. Let Me Drown My Wave, of course the hits, Fell on Black Days, Superunknown, Black Hole Sun, which everybody knows, Spoon Man, The Day I Tried to Live. I feel like anyone who's lived throughout the 90s, even after 90s, knows these songs. If you've listened to a rock radio once in your life, you've heard Spoon Man, you've heard Black Hole Sun, you've heard The Day I Tried to Live, and you've probably heard Fell on Black Days, which is probably my favorite Soundgarden song, even though it's a huge hit. Yeah, it's won all kinds of Grammys and just amazing album. Came out in '94, which was kind of a tragic year for grunge in general with Kurt Cobain's death. But we had some great grunge albums come out in '94. We had the EP Jar of Flies from Alice in Chains. We had, of course, Nirvana's Unplugged came out in '94. The album, even though it was recorded in '93. And also we had Vitalogy from Pearl Jam, which came out at the end of 1994. Coming up next is my number one and my favorite Soundgarden album. Just great album. This is the album that really put them on the map. Before they were a real household name, this was one of those albums that just was at the forefront of grunge when grunge exploded. This was released the same day as Nevermind and Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and this is Badmotorfinger. Just an amazing album. It's so friggin' heavy. Rusty Cage, Outshine are probably the two hits from there. Jesus Christ Pose, one of my favorite Soundgarden songs. I know the video was banned by MTV at first because, arms hauled out like you're carrying a load, so he's like they were mimicking Jesus, so they didn't show him. They showed him late at night. Face Pollution's amazing. Of course, Slaves and Bulldozers on here. Searching My Good Eye Closed, Room 1,000 Years Wide, Mind Riot, Drawing Flies, Holy War, New Damage, and in my opinion, the most underrated Soundgarden song, Somewhere. Amazing songs. So yeah, this is my number one from Soundgarden, Badmotorfinger. I actually own this on vinyl and cassette. And so the video is not too short. I'm going to show some of my compilations I have. First up is the EP, which was released after Ultramega OK on Sub Pop. And this is actually an original Sub Pop CD. Came out in 1990, right after Louder Than Love kind of took off. Screaming Life / FOP or FOPP. So 2 EPs into one. I'm trying to see if it has the other cover in there. No, it doesn't have the other artwork. But yeah, the other artwork for Screaming Life is crisp, but it's blue. It's Soundgarden. Next up is Soundgarden's first greatest hits, When We Thought They Broke Up in 96. This was released in 97. Pretty good compilation to come out in the late 90s. Has Nothing to Say and Flower on there from the Ultramega OK. Well, Nothing to Say was actually on the Screaming Life EP. Loud Love from, of course, Iron Love, Hands All Over. So yeah, it has all these tracks from Ultramega OK all the way through Down on the Upside. And it ends with the new studio track called Bleed Together, which is an amazing song, which is only found on this CD. And yeah, it's only found on there. Next up, we have another compilation. This came out in 2010. This is called Telefon TASM. This is the 3-disc deluxe edition. There's two discs and a DVD of all the music videos. Again, this features everything, but there's also there's some live stuff on here. Get on a Snake Live, Room 1,000 Years Wide, which is the single version. Also from the single soundtrack, Birth Ritual, the video version of Fell on Black Days, and a new track called Black Rain, which is amazing. Very great unreleased tracks. So yeah, this has a bunch of music videos on there, and then some like mashup videos, which I didn't watch them, but I watched the music videos. Next up this is called Echoes of Miles. This is a compilation from the box set that Soundgarden put out of all their unreleased tracks. Well, not unreleased, but I guess compilation stuff. This pretty much has all the tracks that didn't make an album, all the studio tracks. Heretic, Birth Rituals on here, Bleed Together, Black Rain, so it gets them, and Live to Rise, which was featured in the Avengers movie. And that was the first song that Soundgarden came out with when they got back together in 2012. But yeah, this is a pretty decent CD. I don't have the box set, but the box set features, I believe, 4 discs, and one of them is a bunch of covers they did, and then a lot of studio tracks and pretty much stuff throughout their career, including tracks off of this. And then coming in last for my compilation, this is Soundgarden Live from the Largest Den. This is the latest that Soundgarden released. 2-disc set, a lot of songs on here. Pretty much the last tour that Chris Cornell did before he passed away with Soundgarden. Listened to this a couple times when I first got it. It came out. I don't feel like Chris's voice is as strong as it was, especially when he was doing a lot of the earlier songs. So, again, I'm a huge Soundgarden fan, so I had to own it. So yeah, that was my Soundgarden collection, and I may do something with Nirvana similar to that. Since they only have 3 studio albums, I made to show off everything I had by them. All right, well, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Do LyceumsRock.com. Go check out our new album, Live from Broken Goblet. Sick Again, on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream music. It's on YouTube now. Um, yeah, head over to our website, LyceumsRock.com. It's on there also. But if you're into grunge and the heavier side of grunge, like kind of like a grunge metal, as opposed to a grunge pop, more this vein of Melvin / Soundgarden / early Alice in Chains, check us out. Thanks for watching.